success.
Obviously choices between Lindsey Grine and Elise Sokolski. Sokolski will open up the Big Ten tournament for the Oregon Ducks. She picked up a couple of wins against Michigan State. Has really good momentum for her in the circle here tonight. Quarterfinal Thursday. Here's the 2-2. Struck her out looking. A good start for Sokolski.
You can bring a pitch in this strike zone.
Reaching out to get that one. And she fooled her completely.
Tumbles low.
And she pops it up, but is it playable? That's the question behind home plate. And coming over and taking care of it, no problem. Making no changes in the lineup and no changes as their starting pitcher as well. Lauren Durkowski gets her 28th start of the season. She threw a complete game win against the Badgers last night. Kylie Shar, a fifth-year redshirt senior, 1 year older than her sister Kedri. She slaps it in the infield. Michigan charges at it. She's safe. It's tough to throw her out. Indiana Langford did the best she could, though, in coming over.
Gonna get Luchard. This was a much closer play. Langford did a good job.
And there she goes, Luchard trying to take second base, the throw.
Because she's almost always safe. She is just, like you said, those first three. Gets herself on, already in scoring position. Valamont, no doubt, ready. You know she's gonna do it.
Oh, what a play! Behind home plate, Valamont so athletic to get that foul ball. Ground ball to Erickson, who fields it, keeps Luchard at bay, sitting at second base. And 2 outs.
Erickson really had to take, she's got enough speed to get to third.
Here for Oregon. An active 10-game hitting streak. That is the longest right now in the Big Ten. Got back-to-back 400 hitters in this Oregon lineup, and 3 of the first 4 in this lineup are 400 hitters.
I think that's the key. You've got to stay ahead. If you can stay ahead, mix your pitches enough, let your defense work the mishits, the ground balls, and the pop flies.
Chasing upstairs, the first strikeout for Durkowski, and she holds Oregon's score.
That's how I grew up. I'm a fan of it at a young age. So many of them these days that come and watch softball at that age. I love it.
It's felt like this. Everybody needs to travel with the Oregon Ducks. Ground ball at third base side. It's a fair ball. It's a tough play to make. The stretch there at first base.
Still a close play here. Does get, but barely, much closer.
A matter of inches. Valamont lays down the bunt. They go for the lead runner, and Oregon's defense stepping up and taking care of Stevenson.
This is a bunt that came in, corners crashing. Flannery immediately not missing by much.
Hard ground ball to the first baseman, McCoy. They tried to double up.
Throw on that one. Had to make the tag on this. So Valamont running. So you had to tag out Valamont to get the out.
Maddie Erickson tags that one into the gap in right center. And Valamont scores Michigan's first run to jump ahead of the Ducks. 1-0.
Yesterday, hitting some ropes. Not surprised today that she finds a way to connect. This ball just fell too far over that plate, way over the heart and right at the knees. And so I know how to maintain that rhythm, because when Sokolski's in rhythm, that's when she gets the Ks.
Ground ball to Jones. And Oregon's out of the inning. And Oregon took all 3 games against Michigan. Here is Cox, a deep fly ball overweight to the warning track and makes the grab at the wall. Ella Stevenson flashing the leather.
Deal, and then the ball kept traveling. It forced Stevenson run into the wall and
okay.
Struggle.
Yeah, pops it up. Shallow left field, look out. That one was heading towards left. It ended up kind of more in center field with the wind kind of blowing.
A ball called, but I'm with you. I liked it.
Patman pops it up. Erickson calls everyone off. It's hers to take care of. We talked about that in our first 2 games. Do you have a preference about playing a team that you know really well, or maybe just a clean slate with a team that's new to you, an opponent that's new to you?
It depends on how the first 3 games went. Is that a funny way of saying it?
Not at all.
I want a rematch if it's the first 3 games.
Ground ball into the infield. The 1-2, a driven ball, Fantucci into the gap, rounds first, takes second base, and she's in with a double to get things going for Michigan.
This was a solid piece of hitting. Fantucci keeps her barrel through the zone beautifully, goes down and gets this. Just hits a liner back up through the gap. Weekend.
High and inside, and Fantucci going to third base. Whew.
See how off this throws. Excuse me, that's Sinicki, not Flannery. In Langford's face, certainly not a pitch that has been commonly called
in the weekend set. Here's a 3-2. And she slaps it into play. And Sinicki does a good job keeping it in her glove, but man, that extra time paid valuable.
Was just not enough to get the throw there on time. Fantucci, I would get in a first and third play here. I would not allow her to I would not concede the base by any means. A lot of game left.
Driven ball by Conway, and another RBI for Janisa Conway in the Big Ten tournament. Again, goes up 2-0, scoring Fantucci.
Or do you just let your pure hitter go and hit the ball? That's what they do here. They make the decision to let Janisa Conway hit. Drives the ball into the outfield. That allows Fantucci. She throws high velo, upper 60s. She goes rise ball, drop ball primarily with a changeup. She is a high energy pitcher, so you see a lot of energy come out of her.
Faces the freshman, Lauren Putz. Oregon dropped the game on Friday, and Sokolski came in on Sunday and picked up the win against the Spartans. And jumps ahead here, keeping the runner at bay, but the ball is loose. It pops out as Jones tracks it down.
And Cox not afraid to throw it. Potentially could have been a tag out. And this is how you come in relief.
Lily Valamont to the plate, swings at the first pitch, a backhander for Sinicki, can't make the play. Prevents probably a run there with that diving stop, but now the base is loaded here for Michigan.
Saying, hey, we're going to control our own destiny. But in doing so, you have to come out, you have to find a way to win the tournament.
Ellie Sealer puts it in play. Let's see what Oregon does with it. With 2 outs, goes to first base. And walks her. And just places it perfectly, but Fantucci makes the play at second base. I thought that one might roll.
You didn't have that strength when I played, I'll tell you that.
It's a great way to continue a 43-18 season.
And when you can show up with the best of the best facing you in the box, that's a gamer in the circle right there.
And she strikes out Ramey.
And this was not a changeup. This was a screwball that is moving up. You can see how Grind continues to talk to her defense. So important to stay connected with your defense. Talk it through. Stay engaged.
She struck out 5 of the first 7 batters she's faced, including the side here in the 4th. Not even Jenny Ritter did that.
Definitely not.
As she picked up the complete game win last night and delivers Emma Cox with the 3rd hit for Oregon against Urkowski here tonight. Possibly if needed, but Hain is also an Indiana native. Oh, Michigan doubling up Oregon. 1 pitch is all the Wolverines needed. Maddie Ramey, who makes this play, and what a double. What a... Last year was the lone freshman on the pitching staff. And gave up the second most innings. This one a deep shot into left field. It's the center fielder coming over. Janisa Conway getting on her horse, and a couple of... And the count goes full. Grind bringing the high heat, but a little bit too high, and look at Langford's reaction.
Well, then, the only batter that has been able to get on base so far is Langford, and via the walk.
And very rarely do they flounder. They've only lost 6 times here in the regular season. Conway's been a tough at-bat. Had a couple of tough at-bats here in the tournament, and she pops it up. And McCoy comes over to take care of her.
And you bring something near the zone.
And a connection made there by Putz. And so Langford draws the walk.
Span the zone is something that's kind of tailing up and in. And it's hard to lay off, don't get me wrong. It's tunneling right in that strike zone coming in, and then it jumps. It's late break, good vertical movement.
The 1-2 to Stevenson. Stevenson again fouls it back. Drills it right back up the middle. Langford heading home, the throw, and Langford is in, and Michigan goes up 3-0 tonight.
And this just hitting right back up the middle. And Stevenson's so clutch, finds a way to get her bat on the ball with runners on all the time. Hits this.
Been here tonight.
I still think it's that tailing rise ball, screwball that's kind of cutting up in the zone and in on the hands. You can get that to tunnel through the upper corner of the strike zone.
Valamont through the 5-6 hole, but the runners will stay.
Luchar playing a little bit shallow here. Valamont turns on this, goes low in the...
And she's a lefty. Sealer lets it fly there to right field. The runner's gonna tag. Puts, tags, and heads home. And a 4-0 score here for Michigan.
They're probably not prepping for Stacey Chambers.
A driven ball to Erickson as Thorington scores, and Michigan is piling it on in the top of the 5th. Mentioned the 17 times they've been able to compete for a title. There are 11 championships that they've won. And this offense is really getting to Chambers. Michigan played it a run in the top of the 2nd, top of the 3rd, and now 3 in the top of the 5th. Good off speed. First strikeout for Chambers. Number 12 seed to take on Ohio State. A play that can't be made, valiantly done there by Indiana Langford, and Kaylin Jones trying to fire up her Oregon teammates. How about this? I mean, Oregon out here tonight.
I mean, that's incredible. I mean, I think for the Ducks, you've got to feel good that there's more game left, because if you average 8 per, there's still a couple innings to make it happen on the upside.
That Oregon offense that we showed you that averages eight runs per, only 4 hits. Michigan thought about doubling it up, and Erickson making the play to second.
That's because Luchar just tends to hit
like that, a slap hit right to left field. I took Jones off the base pass. Luchar at first, Sinicki at the plate. Sinicki drives one to straightaway center field. It's Conway that gets underneath, and both of these runners, wow, they stay.
Right, because that actually slows up Luchar. Not that Flannery is necessarily slow, but she's slower than Luchar, and because of that, well, and this win right here would be huge for their RPI.
And man, Northwestern experiencing the ever so highs of taking 2
And the Oregon pitchers.
Struck her out. Michigan has answered. And now we'll face the 9, 1, and 2 hitters in the top of the 6th. Erickson leading the way in scoring with a couple of RBI. And Fantucci goes chasing.
Go in the dugout, talk about what pitches she's throwing.
5th inning, and Chambers has got her groove on.
Yeah, this one just way
To have a Chambers perform the way she is as really the 4th pitcher down the right field line, and this inning stays alive. Conway has yet another hit. And Put swings at the first pitch. An over-the-shoulder grab and hangs on. A diving catch. Kaylin Jones hanging on to make that play. Following that season in the summer of 2023, she was looking for ways to take another step, decided to improve her stamina, strength, health. A USA Softball Player of the Year, top 25 finalist for Oregon. Trying to lay down the punt, a diving grab. Erickson laying out for that one.
the defensive plays that we have seen today. My goodness, Maddie Erickson running in towards home plate, makes a right turn to catch this ball.
And Cox takes her base.
I know, unpopular opinion here, but 3-2 count with somebody that is taking big swings at pitches up in the zone. You can get it close enough. I'm going to take that gamble of throwing a rise ball.
Strikes her out. It's a big one. And trying to keep Cox there at first base. Out in a fly out. Just below 300 batting average. And Patman puts it in the air. Fighting the sun, battling for it is Conway. It's been zeros across the board. I'm sure you could call him Pete.
Pete, first name basis.
Stevenson, ground ball, one pitch. Oregon falls short. They're seeing something from Stacey Chambers. A well-hit ball to left field. The most important moments for her in her career. And for the season, for sure.
So if this pitching staff can keep them in it, they can go deep here in the postseason.
And a pop-up in the infield. Chambers does her job. Oregon's going to have to try to do theirs. About 8 runs per game. They've been shut out here.
With a strike against Kaylin Jones. Bringing that changeup in. I think you have to here in the 7th inning. You got to make it happen.
It's only happened one time. Shut out April 19th against UCLA. This offense is too good to experience shutouts. But strikeout number 1, and it's out number 1.
Up in the zone. She's been using this pitch all day long.
And wondering if they were to advance, that they possibly could meet their rival. Their rival up north, what they like to say. A driven ball right at Fantucci. Great reaction. Fantucci was ready.
That certainly felt more like a reaction than anything. This was a bullet.
And Kai Luchar, looking to avoid another upset, slaps it to Fantucci. Michigan shuts out Oregon and takes care of the number 1 seed. And the Wolverines are off to the semis.
This tournament turns out, this win and how much it matters as it plays out into postseason selection. That is the important part about this win today, beyond the fact that you are still live in this tournament. Phenomenal day for Michigan. Really great leaders in the circle by both Erin Hain and Lauren Durkowski. Battle through.
Yeah, you got to argue maybe the best performance of those 2 pitchers against the best competition, and you're looking at the final out. all over the last couple of outs.
Yeah, and even until the end with the speed of Luchar, Maddie Ramey had to take a look and wait for the out call here to make sure because it was such a